Hey, what is up guys? Speed here, and today I got a little bit of a different video. I have 7 items that people use wrong. You guys really seem to be enjoying the video series where I talk about spells that people use wrong and the reasons that they use them wrong. And then of course also the ways that you can use them better, use them correctly. And so I was thinking, what else could I do of that sort of type of video, you know, that people seem to enjoy and learn a lot from? Well, items. So that's what we're going to be doing exactly here today. So smash the like button, subscribe to help our channel grow. We put in a lot of work to really just make sure that the channel is growing every single day and we can put out content that you guys enjoy and learn from every single day. And also, if you want to support us even more and want exclusive content that we post every day, also new exclusive content that's going to help you get to the next rank and get off your losing streak, sign up to the GameLeap website down below right now. Click the link. I'll see you guys there. And let me know on Discord if you do end up signing up. I hope to hear. All right. Let's get into it. So for the first item, let's talk about Tangos. So Tangos, people are probably thinking right now, Speed, are you out of your mind? Tangos, how in the world could you use Tangos wrong? You're probably even trying to theory craft ideas right now. Am I not tangoing the correct trees? Am I not tangoing through certain areas to, I don't know, make a juke path? Am I not tangoing the right trees to help my supports pull? I mean, I guess all of those are actually quite valid reasons that you could apply, but the most important one is one that I've been trying to stress to all of my recent coaching students, and I've realized more and more how important that this tip is, and no one uses it. And what it is that you need to eat your tangos right away. Did you take 100 damage? Eat a tango. Do you plan on trading in the next 3 seconds? Eat a tango. Tangos dictate whether or not you actually win the early trades because everyone's spells do approximately similar amounts of damage. Now, of course, it changes. You know, Clockwork's Battery Assault technically can do what, like 300 or and so on. Rocket Barrage does a lot more if it's not in a creep wave, etc., etc., etc. But all in all, if you eat a tango earlier than your opponent, let's say you are both missing 100 HP, you eat a tango and they do not, who can win the next trade? Obviously you. It's as simple as that, but no one really applies it. You can actually win a lane from eating your tango first. And no, this is not something that happens in 1 in every 10 games. This is something that applies to every single game. So if you don't take me serious on this, I'm genuinely upset because it helps so much. Next item. Let's get into it. Even though I just want to harp on tangos for 10 minutes straight, we got to go on to mana boots. And the problem with mana boots, the reason why people use them wrong, besides not dropping their stat items, right? And not dropping their stat items before using the mana boots to maximize the value. Even if you have an arcane ring in your neutral item stash, make sure you drop them before using your mana boots. It really does amplify the amount of mana you get from the mana boot active. But the biggest thing that people do is actually buying mana boots in the first place. This item is absolute dog. I can't actually say the word, but you guys get the point. Nah, in all seriousness, yes, mana boots can be completely alright. But guys, on the majority of position 5s right now, specifically, yes, position 5s, on the large majority of them, please buy tranquil boots. Movement speed is everything. Are you getting gone on by a Slurk who's running at you? Mana boots isn't going to keep you alive. In fact, it probably means that you're going to start the fight with 500 HP instead of 800, which means that the Slurk can one-shot you. However, if you had tranquil boots, not only do you have more movement speed to run away and force him to overcommit even more, you're also likely going to consistently be on full HP, which causes carries that usually can burst you if you're half HP to have to overextend, which means you get all your spells off, which means you might win the fight. Also, if you feel like you're having mana problems, you need to buy more clarities. You also probably want to buy a stick. The stick is broken. And yeah, anytime you're buying tranquils, buy windlace, raindrops, clarities, stick. You'll have plenty of mana. And yeah, that's just the way to go. So next up is any neutral item. Now, yes, I could probably pick a few and say that people use them wrong. After all, I am also horrible at using neutral items. It is something that I still have to continue to develop. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same exact way. Simply taking them from, you know, the item stash and putting them in your inventory is hard enough as is. But using the neutral items, I just want to give a tip more than anything. I was kind of looking through the items. I'm like, what is something that I struggle with? What is something that other people struggle with that needs to be addressed? And it's neutral items. So how can you get better with using any neutral item? Well, I have a friend named Albino Zebra, and what he said that he did, which I thought was a great point, and really anyone should use and apply anytime anything new comes out. You should do this. But basically what he did in the first week, 2 weeks, whatever the time duration was when neutral items came out, no matter what item he had, if it had an active, he would spam it. Spam it, spam it, spam it. Did he have a Vambrace? He would just toggle through it. Literally just spam toggle the Vambrace to get used to clicking the new hotkey, whatever that is for you, and just get used to training your brain to remember, I have another item that is, you know, really hard to see because it's very small. The picture's small. It's in a weird area you're not looking at, but I have this item. Do you have an essence ring that you keep forgetting to use every fight? Right before the fight, just pop it. Pop it when you're jungling. I know it sounds terrible and you're not going to have it when you're fighting, but it is going to train you for the future. Obviously, we're all trying to get better slowly, not instantly. Don't always make the optimal play. Make the play that helps you long term. And no matter what item you have, even if it's a clumsy net some neutral creeps. Make sure that tomato can't chase you down. You know what I'm saying? Next up, we have EUL'S Scepter of Divinity. Now, this one's tough. It's a very hard item. It has so many different uses. It really does. You can dodge spells. You can dispel stuff. You can set up for your team. It's crazy. It's actually crazy how much EUL'S does. But there is one major incorrect usage that I see people do consistently, and that is using it way too early. So, what is a good example of this? Well, here's an example. Let's say you're playing Razor, and you rush to EUL'S, and there is a Venomancer on the enemy team, and you get Galed. A lot of players would say, I'm Galed. I have to instantly purge it off and EUL'S. But what they don't understand is that if EUL'S is their only defensive item, which often for a lot of these sort of heroes, such as, you know, Leshrac, sometimes a Skywrath Mage, Razor, you can't instantly pop it, because then the entirety of the enemy team will surround you and set up on you. And so often what you want to do is actually use it at the last second possible. Now, this can also get you killed, right? If you try to wait too long to use it, it can get you killed. But really, it is so important to not panic use EUL'S. I was even watching a replay with one of my students recently, and they ruptured this Razor underneath his tier 2 tower. They ruptured him. That's it. Any insta EUL'S? No! That is not how you want to use the EUL'S. And I understand why people do it. It's sort of like, oh, I'm getting got on. EUL'S. But no, you can't do that. You need to wait. Like in that case, he needs to wait for the Earthshaker to go on him. Even if the Earthshaker gets him low, at least if he can EUL'S at the last second possible, he can force the enemy team to overcommit. And that is often what EUL'S is for, to force the enemy team to overcommit. Especially, okay, the best example, guys, is people will be playing against an Orchid. Let's say they're playing against an Atros Prophet. They buy a EUL'S, he has an Orchid. No joke, I will see someone get Orchided, not even get sprouted, and they will instant EUL'S when they could walk away, just because this idea in their head is, oh, I got Orchided, I need to purge it. No, you don't. Sometimes you can just walk it off. Next up is Shadowblade. So for Shadowblade, the main thing that I see people do wrong with Shadowblade is being too predictable with it and not using it enough in side lanes. So typically what people do with Shadowblade is they buy it, then they pick a lane, or they pick the first hero they see and they run at them. And then what happens is the enemy team, they're like, okay, we've died once, we've died twice to the Shadowblade, we're gonna start buying sentries and putting it down, right? That's very common. It actually basically happens every time there's a Shadowblade. You know, you get 1 or 2 pickoffs, if that, and then it gets significantly harder. So understanding that concept, that after the first couple pickoffs, it gets much harder to use the Shadowblade, what should you do? Well, what you should do is use it in side lanes more. Use it to split push more. Use it in areas where they won't group up. Because when people group up, they will naturally throw down a sentry to make sure that you can't sneak up on them. But what people usually don't do, that actually pros will do, is put sentries in side lanes or put sentries in split pushing areas, because they don't preemptively want to read that you're going to split push. They don't want to do that. And so they won't see you coming. And so you can actually get a lot more pickoffs if you play side lanes, or you can simply use it as a threat, right? People will feel like, oh, I have a Shadowblade, I have to make plays. Or they'll play Shadow Fiend, they got 1 or 2 pickoffs, a team fight breaks out, but all they have is a Shadowblade, which is pretty common. They will walk into the fight with no BKB when the enemy team is fully grouped up and likely has sentries, which you could check people's inventories for, and they will still try to Shadowblade combo. You can adjust with Shadowblade. You can even use it just to walk to the outside of the fight, right? Literally on Shadow Fiend, I've had to coach people on this. You do not have to walk into the fight with the Shadowblade. You do not have to use it to get on top of people. You can just simply use it to kite around the fight as well and get in position. It's totally fine to do. And yeah, that's what I see with Shadowblade. Next up, we have Hand of Midas. Quick little tip here with Midas. Don't want to harp on it for too long. But one major mistake I see with Midas users is that they will always feel the need to use it on a large creep camp. Guys, if you get an early Midas and there is no creep camp near you, Midas a lane creep. If it is going to take you 5 to 10 seconds to go from the lane creeps that you are currently clearing out to the large camp, just use it on the lane creeps. Every second matters when it comes to Midas. And that happens often, right? Where, you know, you farm a Midas, you're like, I want to push out this wave and then go Midas the camp. But you don't want to, like, you know, go Midas the camp, then miss a couple lane creeps, right? And then go back to the lane, then have to go back to the camp, right? That's very awkward. So what you do is you push the wave, wait on the Midas, and then farm the camp, Midas the camp. But just do it the other way around. Pop the Midas early. And finally, last but not least, we have Soul Ring, especially for offlane players. All you offlane players, I know you're out there. I still see them all the time. Guys, Soul Ring got changed. It cost 170 health to pop. 170. Let me put that in perspective. If I said it did 200 damage to you, people would panic just because it's 200, right? If I said that out loud, it does 200 damage, even though it does 170. 200 damage. People will be like, oh my god, that's so much health. I can't just pop this thing. I need regen. It doesn't even give you regen anymore. It used to give you HP regen. You don't get it anymore. It gives you 2 armor, 6 strength. You don't get it. So you might be asking, Speed, then when do I buy Tranquils? I've heard that pros are speculating that you need Tranquils, literally Tranquils, if you're going to buy Soul Ring. If you plan on buying Soul Ring, you need Tranquils. Or at the least, you need a stick, you need Tangos, maybe even a salve, a ring of regen, some mangoes. You need HP regen to actually sustain the usage of the Soul Ring. Otherwise, this item is trash. So do not rush Soul Ring. Buy a bracer, buy a stick first, buy these other items that actually allow you to sustain the lane. Then once you have the sustain, you can go into a Soul Ring. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know it was a bit of a different video, but I like making these. And of course, in the comment section down below, let me know what items other people use wrong that I didn't cover in today's video. Maybe I'll even feature some of your information as well in the upcoming video. If this video does well or people respond well to it, I'll make another one and I can use your suggestions that you put in the comment section down below. So thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and get a GameLeap sub. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Before you leave, just want to say a quick message. If you're trying to get better at Dota or you just enjoyed that video, I know this is pretty general, and you're going to hear this quite a bit from me, but I recommend you sign up to GameLeap.com. Why? Because I put a lot of effort into the content over there, and generally the effort I do there is different from the content you're going to see here on YouTube. It is different. In fact, I usually go a lot more in depth on topics or into niche topics that help you get to the next level even faster. Because on YouTube, I often have to keep it more mainstream, and that's even why I'm putting it at the end of this YouTube video. That's why this is at the end, because a lot of people just watch 5 minutes, they skip through just for like the dopamine spike. But if you are interested in actually getting better at Dota, I recommend you go to the description down below, get your discount right now by clicking the link, sign up, use the discount code that you're going to see there, and I hope to see you there right now. So click it, and yeah, thanks for watching.